Welcome and thank you so very much for joining. We are going to be talking about family this evening. But even before we get into the topic, I want to introduce you to one of my mentees, Jason Marcus. You may have seen him with me either last week or you may have seen one of his videos on my profile. He's just such an amazing human being. Love him. And the line that we know him for is live in the 868. But I can't say it like him. Only he can give you that magic because it comes from him. So without further ado, please, in the comment section, love up on Jason Marcus right now. Welcome. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Michelle. Good night. It's good to see you again. It's good to join you here live again.
Yes, it's an honor to have you.
So let me first tell you all, I am Jason Marcus, and we are live from the 868.
868.
So if you know me personally, you would know that phrase, live from the 868. And I say that personally as a reminder, as an affirmation to you, even to myself, that we need to live in the moment right now. Sometimes you have to forget about what's going on Facebook, what happened yesterday, or what you have to do tomorrow. We need to live in the moment right now, because it's just like when with TV. Like right now, we are live. Something could happen. The curtain could shift, breeze could blow, and we can't change that moment. But what we can do is enjoy the moment right now. So anytime you are around me or you see me and I say we are live, I just like people just in the 868.
I love that. I love that. That's what we're talking about, Jason. Live in the 868. And I love how you say that it too is more or less like an affirmation, ensuring that you are speaking that into being, having that flow of being in the present moment and really appreciating it for the gift that it truly is. And we did say that this evening we'll talk about family. You recently went to a family event. You were very inspired by that. I love the video that your mom and you did together. I want to share that. I will be sharing that on my page so long as I have your permission to. I think I do. I think I have your permission.
Michelle, you have my permission, definitely.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you have mom's permission as well.
Thank you. So let's chat about family. Tell me how you were feeling being at that event and share some of the thoughts that you would have shared with our power team, with our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at this time, as well as Twitter.
So I firstly want to say a safe journey to my sister and my two nephews who came all the way from London. They were in the country for the past about 10 days. Right. And wow, it was an amazing time. Trust me, I always love when my family from abroad comes down to Trinidad, because somehow they say when we have it, we tend to take it for granted. So like when we know we can go to the beach, we know we can go to Maracas, we can go to the Savannah, we can go and eat our doubles. So we take those things for granted. And we realize how much we took it for granted during the pandemic when we couldn't go to the beach. And all of a sudden, everybody have beach tabanca, right? We can't go to the beach. That time, before, when you could have gone, tell me, viewers in the comments, how many times do you actually go to the beach before knowing that, the beach is closed? Some of us go for months, Michelle, without going to the beach.
True.
Right?
True.
And whenever family comes down, or it could even be a stranger, I tend to live vicariously through them and experience everything over and over, just through someone doing it for the first time. So my two nephews, one of 7 and one of 9, they had doubles for the first time. Wow. They left saying that's their favorite dish, Michelle.
Wow.
So when you get to enjoy it through their eyes, it's almost like you doing it a second time for the first time. So going to the beach with them, going to Maracas, enjoying the waves, and then we headed over to Tobago for 4 days, and doing all this stuff that we normally do when we go to Tobago, go to the Boca Reef, No Man's Land. But when you do it with family, somehow it just feels different. Especially with family who doing it for the first time. Wow. It is such a joy, such an amazing feeling, just enjoying that with them, Michelle. What do you think? What do you think about
I
that?
think it definitely is a joy. Just today, I was looking at different quotes from Dr. Seuss. I love the different sayings that he would have, as well as his books. Although the children's books, maybe for children, I enjoy it as an adult, and I think there's so much to learn. But to make that long story short, he says, we never understand the value of something until it becomes a memory. And I think that sums up what you were just describing. Especially before the pandemic, we may have taken the beach for granted. But now I think persons, after being denied it for some time, appreciate it even more. Just as maybe you not seeing your family for some time, you would have appreciated them even more. And I see that
Yes.
Sharon Hayward is saying that's a fact. And she said it definitely is a joy. Also, want to take the time to say good evening to Elspeth Jimenez, also Keith Watkins, part of our
Keep
Power
to
Team
us.
Plus. What's
Keep to
up,
us.
Keith? Great to
Keep
have
to
you.
us. Make up yourself.
And please continue to comment. Also, while you're here, just to let you know, if you're now joining in, Jason Marcus, he's one of my mentees, but he's also an entrepreneur, personal trainer, real estate agent, and a public speaker. Be sure to follow him at Live in the 868. He is available on TikTok as well as Facebook, Instagram, and I'm sure there will be some other platforms mounting up on that
Most
soon as well.
Most definitely, most definitely. So just like you said there, Michelle,
Yes,
sometimes we would take places. We only miss the places when they're not there anymore.
true.
And when our family member comes back, then we enjoy it. But I think that even though the ones that are around us, we
Yes.
need to take the moment and enjoy those moments with them. Even though you see them every day, you still need to be live in the 868 with them and enjoy that moment with them. And don't wait till they go away or they're not here anymore.
True.
You need to enjoy those moments with them right now, because the world is so fast-paced and we always thinking about the next big thing or what we're doing tomorrow. Sometimes we having a moment right now, but we already, our mind and studying, okay, what's next? What's the next
Right.
vacation? You're on vacation right now, Michelle, but you
True.
studying,
Perception.
where's my next vacation? Exactly. So we need to
Perception.
enjoy that moment right now and just slow it down and take time to just breathe that air, just enjoy that moment. Yeah.
Enjoy it. Give thanks for that breath of life. And as we're talking about family, I want you to expand for me, what is family to you? And then after, I'll share with you what family is to me.
Well, for me, family, I have grown up with in a family with my both parents, my siblings.
Yes.
It's five of us. I have three sisters and one brother. So I grew up in a family with both parents.
Yes.
And growing up, it has always been, we always do everything together. We go to church together. We eat Sunday lunch together, go to the beach together. So it's always been that connection. And even though right now, my siblings are spread out all over the world right now. So I've one in London, one in Canada, one in Florida. Yet still we have a group. So we may be far apart, but yet still we all know what's going on with each other at that point in time. So we always connected. So and as well as family, I think does not only have to be your blood family or your mom or your dad. Family is someone who is really close to you. As this song from Marshall Skinny Fab has been carnival season. Marshall Skinny Fab, and everybody in fed hug up and they jump up. We jump. And I think if we have more family, we'll have less crime and less violence, because things are getting pretty bad these days. But if we had more family and that love and that togetherness, we wouldn't have so much so much a crime and thing nowadays. And that's what I strongly believe.
I agree with you on that, and I think we connect on several points that you would have made. Family, I believe, as the cliche would say, family is everything. But even more than that, I think family goes beyond blood. I think what is
Correct.
even stronger is the family that we have in spirit, those who are like minded and like spirited with us. It
Most definitely.
is definitely so much stronger. And I'll give an example. I had a family member contact me and wanted me to share something that they were doing. It doesn't resonate with what my focus is. My focus is on peace, love, light, goodness, what's pure, what's
Yes.
right. And I said,
Yes.
I love you. I wish you the best with your endeavors, but I don't want to be connected with something like that. Because it's not just because someone is a blood relative, it means that they're like spirited or like
True.
minded. Yet there's some who you would grow up with. And I think that's the value of a home. I think a home is truly a sanctuary because within that, there's certain values that are being passed and even the energy of the home. So, although you might be connected with someone in terms of blood, I think there's a certain energy that passes on when you share that space with someone. There's certain things that are transferred. And that's what my focus is on, really, the like spirited aspect of something. And I think it goes beyond blood. And I'm seeing here Sharon Hayward says, agree, family is not always blood. Also want to say good evening to Bernadette Stewart. Bernadette Stewart, good evening. And yes, Sharon Hayward says the energy 100. And
Yeah.
interestingly, I
Thank you.
have some cousins,
Yeah.
my cousins Christian and Chase.
Yeah.
We are the cousins who are closest in age. And Christian, for example, I'm the firstborn, but Christian is just a month after me. And then Chase,
Yeah.
just a year after Christian.
Okay. Yeah.
But we were so close growing up that our mothers, who are sisters, if they had an outfit, bet your bottom dollar I had the girl version of the outfit.
Yeah. I love that. I like that.
And we have so many Christmas pictures with Christian, Chase, and I, because I think
Yeah.
we were the first three, and we were the first three for some time before we got other cousins. And
Yes.
what I find, especially with Christian and Chase, there's this warm spot that I have for them because
Yeah.
we have that kind of similarity. Like I know they feel for people the way I do. I understand them. I understand the spirit that's moving with them. I'm not saying that they don't do things that may probably get on my nerves ever so often. It's not the Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch was a show from the 80s.
Correct. Correct.
you know, I get them and they get me. And that, I think family and the word love is so very connected. And when I think of the word love, it comes from a Latin word that carries us to a meaning that actually means to know. And
Yeah.
for me, that is what love really is, the ability to know someone. Like, even when I
Yeah.
think of a subject, math is a subject that would have challenged me for quite some time. And I have to spend more time with it to know it, because to know it
Yeah.
is to truly love it. And I want to get to the
Correct.
point in which I love it. And I think it's the same for people. The more we know, the more we grow, and the more we grow too to love others. And I think that comes with knowledge of self as well, because the more we learn about ourselves, the more we're able to love others and see not just our family as family, but realize we all are truly connected.
Yes, I agree with you most definitely. Just like you would have had those cousins. There's one cousin I could think about that we would have had that same relationship because growing up from small, somehow we always live in the same place. So if we living upstairs, they're living downstairs. If we
Right.
living in Petite Valley, across the street, they're on the next street. So we always grew up like siblings. So we would, even though we were just cousins, but it felt like we were actually siblings.
Yes.
So I feel you with regards to that as well. And there's some people you from day one, you could just connect with them. So coming out of school, you would have your friends, right? And there's some friends that you would not see them for years, Michelle.
And
And
you just
and then once y'all meet up, within 2 minutes, you may have, hey, what's going on? And then it's like a day has not passed. And I think those are true friends. Those are like your
true.
family, you know?
They're as vital
The,
as grits and cheese.
yeah. So you wouldn't see them for years. And then it's like, boom. You don't even have to say a word. You just know you connect. And it's just, and a day hasn't passed. And we just keep moving
Yeah.
in that moment right there.
Yeah, those
And
are friends that you will refer to in my book as family. You know, friends who you've been friends with so long, and it's not just about the length of time, but the connection,
correct,
in which time is
correct.
really just an
It's time
illusion because
is
it's like
irrelevant.
time hasn't passed. That connection is still so strong, no matter what.
Correct. It's like time is just irrelevant at that moment. And as we grow older, we only have, because everybody have life is going on. You have your family, you have your job, so you get busy. Right? So going online every Friday, party clubbing every weekend, you get busy, you have things to do. And those true friends, sometimes we have three, I have about five of them that I could count on my hand. And whenever we link up, yeah, we could, it's like, and day hasn't passed. And then certain people come in your life for some, as I say, some come in your life for a reason, some
Yes.
for a season, and
Some for a
there's
lifetime.
one more, and a lifetime. And sometimes somebody just comes and that energy, because life is just energies, right? And your
Yes.
energy, just connect with them instantly. And because I have a good friend, and if I tell you, I call him my brother, he is 72 years old. You would have met him.
I met him.
Mr. The King, yeah. He's 72 years old. And we
Wow.
connect, and we are like, I call him my brother, we are like best friends. And age is just a number at that point in time.
Correct.
Because his energy, he have a young spirit, a young energy, and you know, we could connect, and it doesn't matter. So family goes beyond just blood. It's just about that synergy, that connection, that unity.
And then your sister's relationship, in terms of her coming back home after so long, it also shows you too that family goes beyond distance. And it's the same thing with friendship. Friends who really become your family, those are the ones you'd realize it's like-minded, like spirited, like energy, and there's no distance, no time. Although apart, you all were never apart because that connection is still there. Bernadette Stewart says family is everything. She said, I have friends who are now considered family because of the relationship over the years. Also, Sharon Hayward says the quality and foundation of the friendship. Caroline Petite, she says, so true. Carol is my auntie, by the way, as we're talking about family.
Yeah. Big up Auntie Carol.
Boy. And hey, speaking about like energy, like-mindedness, like spiritedness, rather, look at how we connected. You did the power of public speaking course, and we just vibed, just connected. You know, the energy has been high since day one, only to find out that I did a course with your mom, and then only to find out that your aunt is my Aunt Carol's really great friend.
Yes. Remember, we were talking about that circle, that connection. I just come back.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's like from the first time I heard you on the radio, before even knowing you, and I heard that advert on the radio, and I said, I always looking for something extra. In my heart, it just saying, I'm looking for it, but I could never find it. I'll search on Facebook, I search everywhere. And I heard that ad on the radio, and I called. And when I heard your voice, and that energy, it went through the phone, and I think we just connected on that level. And you know, and as I was telling you, it's family.
Yes, correct. Definitely family. Definitely. We have that like spiritedness, like mindedness, like energy. You know, we're seekers for goodness, for right. for what's pure, what's of light. And that's really what it is. No matter who it is, it could be mother, father, sister, brother, tanti, nene, whoever, a friend, an acquaintance. I made a decision some time ago that if it's negative, I just don't want it in my life. Even family members or friends who may be close, if I realize, the attack of the day is coming from, I just excuse myself.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep it positive. You want to keep yourself in that high vibrational energy of joy.
Definitely. And as we started the conversation, so I went to a wedding this weekend.
Yes.
So we was talking about that. And in the midst of the wedding, I'm just seeing all these people just enjoying themselves. And we all went to the church, as some would have just been friends, some well-wishers, and some actual family. But at that moment, two separate families, the husband and wife, the bride and the groom, became one. Right? And everybody was just enjoying it. Stuff like if they all know each other. So I'm like, it just brought so much joy to my heart at that moment. And that's when I went outside. I said, Mom, we need to go and make a video, because this is real right now. And we need to tell people that sometimes you just need, sometimes we don't tell our parents or our cousins, our uncles, our family that we love them.
True.
So we need to take a moment every time and say, Moms, I love you, or Dad, I love you, I miss you. Because we don't know how long or when next we'll see them. So y'all need to, when next you see your mom or your dad or your cousin or your uncle, just say, hey, uncle, get them that love. As you say, Michelle, love them up.
Love them up. And love up on yourself too. I remember there was a point in time in which a family member of mine wasn't a very huggy person. And I stopped waiting for the hug. And I made a decision that no matter what, and no matter how much screw face they give, and what you hugging me for, I would hug them up. I would love them up. I would kiss them up. And now it is to the point in which if I walk in and I might probably be rushing for something and forget to give the hug or the kisses.
They vex. They put
in the right here. They're looking
yeah.
So I want to say hello to Elspeth Jimenez. She says, yes, Michelle, it's a spirited person, vibrant. Thank you, darling. And you have Chris Garcia. He says, blessed night to all. That chade, bupka chade. And also Bernadette Stewart says, I agree. No negative energy, only positives. One reason why I don't listen to the news. Yeah, that could sometimes hamper you, but it is still important to be in the know, right? Caroline Petite, my auntie, she says, hi, Chris. That is awesome. Chris Cassius, listening. You know, I have a poster from when I was probably in primary school, but that is like one of my all-time favorites. I know, I'm going astray, but it's Chris Garcia. But that is awesome.
Loving up on Chris. Chris getting some love too. Chris loving the house.
Take some love up. But as we're talking about taking the time to love people, not just by feeling it, but also saying it and showing it in various ways. That love language, everyone has a different love language, but we need to be able to speak all forms of love language, I think, and not just stick to one, but really expand on that. And I think that's what you were really opening us up to, in reminding of the importance of hugging and taking that time to spend quality time and saying, I love you, I miss you.
Yeah, just somebody who you haven't spoken for or seen in a while, you just send them a message. Hey, how you going? Everything okay with you? You know? That little gesture. That person that person may be in a space where they may be down, and that little small gesture, that your quiet voice just to let you know, let me message this person and see how they're doing.
Yes.
And that may change the entire day. Even when you wake up in the morning. I always say, when I wake up first thing in the morning, today is a good day to be a great day. And
Correct.
jump out my bed with that energy. And anybody I see in the morning, good morning, how are you? And you giving off that energy, that positive, that love, that will change somebody's day.
I agree
That
with
little
that.
small gesture. Yeah.
It's like you become an alchemist, because if they were having a bad day, you're able to change the chemical feeling they may be having on the inside and just give them that spark.
Correct.
Says, great conversation. We need a pandemic of love. I agree with that. We need a song on that. Sharon Hayward says, yes, share the love. And your mom, Susan G, says, love is the more excellent way. And we also have Donna Flores, my family, saying, loving the love. And hey, darling, because she's getting some love coming from my Aunt Carol, who says, hi, Donna. Oh, gosh, I love the love too. And also want to say hi to Anton Juggler. Thank you for tuning in. Hear me tuning in as if I'm on radio.
I love it. I love that. This better start a radio podcast.
Oh gosh, I still want to keep my job. I just see it.
It comes natural. It's just subconscious in it.
True. Anything that you make a habit, so make a habit of the same love we're talking about. I started to dig up on something when I knew, because you chose the topic. You said we're going in with family. We're talking about family. I said, yes, I love it. So I went and I was digging, and look at what I found. There was a time I was asked to give a quotation on family, and I got that quotation together. Let me pull it out. I'm pulling out this paper. And here is the quote I gave. This was some time ago, hence the reason the paper looks like this. Are you seeing it?
Mm.
And that's myself and my third child. I have to give my children by numbers because, I have like 4. So this is my third child. When I spent some time with her going horseback riding. And the quotation I gave them, I said, family means it is not just me. Family equals, and the acronym, forward and all moving, incessantly learning from yesterday. And if I look at the quote in terms of the mindset that I wanted to express at that time, I said, I do family by firstly giving thanks for each of them. I acknowledge those who came before us, and every day I make a point of understanding that the goal is to make each generation better than the one before. We have to give our children a head start. I better myself because I want to demand that my children do even greater things. I cannot start or end a day without giving thanks to each of the 3 treasures, now 4, I was blessed with, and the valuable support from my mom and stepdad. When I feel tired having 2 full-time careers, school, and other activities, I think of the legacy I have to maintain and the message I pass on to who I will be passing the baton when I'm gone. Hence the reason I push and perspire. One of the most beautiful things I heard was from my daughter, Shada. She said, Mommy, I want to be a doctor, a singer, a hairdresser, and a dancer. When I asked if she thought she could handle all that, her response was, yes. You just set goals and do your best at everything like I see you do. I smiled because that's the intention. To have a 12-year-old son who has been planning to have his own home since he was 4 makes me proud. I think of my 3-year-old who already understands that her voice matters. Well, there is no price I can put on that. Family means it's not just me. It is all of their aunts, uncles, grandparents, teachers, fathers, ancestors, and me that through our actions have summed all these things up. Family equals forward and all moving is incessantly learning from yesterday. And it leads me to talk to something that really impacted me tremendously was researching family history and trying to get as much information as possible. And I realized, yes, we are truly energetically connected. And there's something you can learn about yourself through learning more about those who came before you, and also learning more about those who came after you. Because in looking at your children, your nieces, your nephews, and seeing how they are, there are times that you see things that maybe you couldn't remember as a child, but it gives you a deeper understanding of what is within your family. Like for myself, I remember when I came up with the book, Magic Words with Max, that book, what caused me to reflect was the unkindness of someone made me look deeper at the kindness that my family had in terms of how we would treat each other, how we would laugh with each other, the jokes, the fun, the lightheartedness, and the kindness, not only to each other, but to also strangers. And there was something that my mom would have done with me, she would have done with her nieces and nephews. And here it is now being passed on to my children that I started to do. And it's just a part of us. So I wasn't paying attention to it as before. But when she was taking the bottle to give to my 3-year-old, who at the time would have been 2, as she was handing him the bottle, before she released it, he had to say, "Thank you, Gani." And when he said thank you, that's when she released it from her hand. And it
Yeah.
made me realize that, hey, kindness is something that is not only within someone, it may be someone's nature, but we also have to nurture it. We have to teach
Yeah.
it. We have to instill more of it within our homes. And
Yes.
that's how Magic Words with Max came. And that's how I learned from one of the youngest in the family, in seeing
Yeah.
that taught to him. And I go back into researching my ancestors when I took the time to go to Cedrus and see where the first borels would have been, and even connecting and asking stories about my maternal ancestors and understanding our bloodline and who's part of the bloodline. So when certain qualities about myself may pop up, I tell myself, all right, that is the king side of the family coming out in me, the Flores side, the Borel side, the Foster side. And there's some things you want to keep and draw more on. And then there's some things you realize, okay, I have to cut this here. And there was a little something I realized in paying attention. That number 6, 7. When my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was 7, she was
Mm.
left by her mom for whatever
Yeah.
reason that may have been. And then when my mom was 7, I know my grandmother had to travel abroad to study and whatnot. And then when I was 7, my mom had to go abroad to work.
Okay.
And it made me think and realize there's something with that 7. I ain't going.
Yeah.
And there are many times when, I would feel like, hey, I want to go. But I always remember
Mm.
that 7. And I say that 7 has to more or less, it can't continue. Because if it's one thing, as a child, I always remembered Sundays. There was a point in time I didn't like Sunday at all, because that was the day I always had to leave my mom. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it was really sad for me. That was the day I had to leave my mommy. And I
Yeah.
would remember having to sit in the back of my father's car and cry all the way to go by my father's mom, like, why? Why me?
Mm.
Speaking about my mom, I've seen my mom there, so I loving up on my mom. Mommy, I love you, and I know your mom is on too now, Suzanne G. So you could take time to love up on your mommy. And my
Mom,
mom also says, "Good evening,
love you.
everyone." Sharon Hayward, that's my cousin. She says, "Well said." And Deidre Haradan, she says, "Blessed night to all." Caroline says, "Huggy, huggy, 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 huggy
Spread
emojis."
that love. Yeah, when
Yeah,
you hug emojis in the
huggy
comments, just
emojis.
spread that love.
Yes, and my mom laughing at me because she know I'm talking the truth.
Yeah.
And Carol says, "Hi, Sharon. Real love going on in this chat, boy." And my mom says, "Love you more." Thank you, mom. Real love.
That was the well,
Tom there, your turn. Tag, you're it.
and that well, Michelle. I
Your
don't
mom
even know if
telling
I
you
can
love you, Jay.
because so it's a good thing because when you ask me the topic, what you want to speak about, and anything can I pull any topic out of the back of my head, and I was like, you know what, family, because the past couple of weeks I've been spending a lot of time with the family as my siblings was here, and then we had the wedding, so it's just I just feeling that whole family vibes, and I just say let's talk about family, and you see it was meant to be.
Definitely. And strangely, just before we were speaking in our MNL group, yes, we have a group, we come together, we talk about all things uplifting, and we support each other. And in MNL, we were speaking about listening to the quiet voice. And that's a perfect example of it. You listen to the
Yeah,
quiet voice, and quiet voice said, "We're talking about family."
we talking about family tonight, yeah, and all this has to everybody in the comments who listening here, this would have touched them in some way, form, or fashion. Let's just spread the love because Trinidad we need a lot more love in the country. Eh? If we had more
True.
love, we wouldn't have all of this, all of this violence was going on right now. So
Yeah.
just need to spread that love, that peace, that unity, and plenty prayers.
I agree with that. And I think far too often persons may at times complain. They find things going this way. They're not appreciating how things going. But Dr. Miles Monroe, he has a quotation that I absolutely love. And he said, "We don't have societal issues. We have
Mm,
individual problems which impact the society." What that telling you? You want to, in other words, solve whatever problems happening in society, fix what's going on
mm,
at home, love up in the
yeah,
home, take care of things at
yeah,
home, spend more time at home, spend more time and quality time. It's not always about the quantity of time, but even more so the quality of time that we're spending with those that we share a household with, or even our extended family as well.
yeah, most definitely because even long ago or a few years ago, uh, yeah, they say take a village to raise a child, eh?
True.
So your granny could scold you or punish you, or even the neighbor, if the neighbor see you doing something wrong, they could pull you up. But nowadays it's not that way at all. Eh? Even in school, I remember back in school days, oh good, that's when we used to get punished. Watch me, the teacher. Listen to me, I just thinking about that, my hands started to hurt me because they used so you used to have a kind of go of a whip and they used to wrap it with electrical tape. It had the red one, the green one. And boy, when you do wrong, we used to and I still here, even though we used to get that but we still here, right? So
Teachers
but
were
nowadays
passing family long ago.
exactly.
Yeah,
But nowadays if the teacher only shout at the child, it's because the
true.
parents coming in to beat up the teacher, so the, so all of that discipline, everything kind of
Went out the
just
door.
kind of continue. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
took a while to realize correction is love. Because I remember I had a primary school teacher. Listen, she had
Uh,
a ruler that she named. And you know when a teacher name a ruler?
I know what you mean. The whips
Serious.
was named
That ruler was Peter Pan. And when
Peter
Peter
Pan.
Pan when Peter Pan reached you, he carrying
Ah,
all that bad behavior to Never Never Land that you will never
oh,
see in the
oh.
realm of reality ever again, you know. And I remember there was one point in time, and
Yeah,
this day, I will never try to peep at something because I always remember what happened next.
Peter
Someone,
Pan.
yeah, not just Peter Pan. I think it was Tinkerbell that gave me a little But
Oh,
what took place, someone told me, Michelle, I hear you get all your marks in spelling. Just peep over there by Miss So-and-so thing and you'll see. And I peep, and as
mm,
I peep so, and Miss see me. Listen, the pinch I got was a pinch that lasted a lifetime. I feel, I don't know if it's my childhood mind exaggerating the situation, but I feel as though
yeah,
my body left the ground. You know, it was like a moment from Matilda. You know, when you see the lady from Matilda, the principal, disciplining the
yeah,
children, like that.
yes.
It was that kind of moment. But yeah,
But
I'm
you're still
telling you,
here.
I'm still
You're
here.
still here. Yeah,
I'm still
correct.
here. And when I left primary school, I remember that teacher seeing me and wanting to hug me up, and I was in shock. But
Yeah,
correction is love. But I do think though we could correct it out, all that. But
yeah, yeah. Most
yeah,
definitely. Because
it was a bit much.
sometimes you can take it, people can take it overboard and put their own emotions in it, and
Yes,
it could be a little too much. But once you do it in the right, you know, dimension and not going overboard, it's
yes.
still fine. And there are
Maya,
different ways,
two
you know,
amazing
time out.
people. Maya, she's like two amazing people. We're amazing, Jason. Amazing.
I'm sure everyone in the comments could put on some time that they were corrected back in school days.
Back in the days when teachers too were part of family.
Yes.
Jared says night. Also, Auntie Carol says
Okay.
night. Penny Celestin says yes, it's all about love. I fully agree with that. Jason, it's now about that time in which I need to get some rest, but I loved every moment of this. We will be doing
Most
it again and
definitely.
again and again and again and
For
again.
sure, for sure. For sure, for sure.
And I want to thank you for sharing this space with me. It's been a pleasure. And I am happy we took the time to talk about family, so many different aspects of it, and you sharing that inspiration that you would have gotten from spending that time with your family. Thank you for sharing it and inspiring every one of us.
Yes, Michelle. I just want, as we're talking about this, a song just came to mind. So y'all could, when we end the live, y'all could go
Yes.
on YouTube it. That song from Black Eyed Peas, Where's the Love? Where is the love? You know that song?
Where is the love? I don't think I have the key, but I know what song it's on. Where is the
Yes.
love? The
Love, the love, the
love.
love. So, so y'all can YouTube it when y'all come off the live and enjoy it. That was good. But I just want to thank you, Michelle, for having me here on this live. I love you first to begin. I appreciate
I
it.
love you
It
too.
was really nice. And I hope we do this more often. Everyone who is live right now with us, just remember, we are live in the
Live
868.
868.
Live in that moment, enjoy the moment with your family, spread that love, and just take that moment to just enjoy the now, the right now, and not next week and next year. Let's enjoy it right now. We're in live and just enjoy it right now. So I want you all to put in comments live in 868 and have a good night. Michelle, thank you.
Love you too, Jason. Love and light. Thank you.